What is up, everyone? We're here with the top 5 new brews of MTG Foundations. This is deck number 5, so we got 4 more to go after this one. And I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of synergy tribal-based decks in this set. I'm going to try not to only bring you tribal stuff, but there's a lot of it, like vampires and cats and things like that. So I've got those deck lists, but for today, we're going to look at Blue-White Herald Control. Now, this deck, I will admit, is a little bit of a pipe dream. Like Blue-White Control, I think will be very solid after Foundations comes out. But you may want a different win con. I mean, Jace is often the preferred win con. Just mill out your opponent. So you may still want to go with that. But I'm an old school Magic player. I'm a fan of Platinum Angel enjoyer. So we gotta try out the new Herald card, which is basically like Platinum Angel on steroids, and see if it's any good in our blue-white control deck. So without further ado, let's take a look at the deck and see how things look out. So starting off in the 1-drop slot, we have Authority of the Consuls, solid 1 mana enchantment, slows the game down, gets you some life, basically saves you if you can get this in your opening hand against mono red. Like, you'll just probably win off of this card alone because it'll slow the game down enough, get you enough life back that you don't die to the explosive hands that the opponent has. So very solid, and I think it's gonna probably change the best of 1 meta a little bit because of this card. We'll see, but I'm very excited for this one. And this isn't really 1 mana, so we'll talk about that one later. But in the 2 mana slot, Collector's Vault to kind of cycle, filter or draw, get us some ramp going on. We got Get Lost for some removal. Maze Mind Tome makes a comeback. I don't know if you guys were here for the last time this was in standard, but very solid control card. Draws you a bunch of cards. Even sometimes against aggro, you're just scrying to find your board wipes. And then once you've done it enough, you get the 4 life out of it. So you're not even that sad if you just get like the 4 scries and the life. It's still pretty solid. So if it means you don't die to mono red, you're gonna be happy. So we got that going on. We got No More Lives, best counter spell in standard right now. We got the Iron Crag, 2 of them. They're legendary, so you don't want too many, but 2 is usually pretty solid where you won't draw both of them, and gives you enough chance to get it to ramp out your board wipes earlier. Have a turn 3 board wipe, definitely better than a turn 4 board wipe. So that's why we got that. Day of Judgment, the new board wipe in standard coming in Foundations. 4 mana Wrath, just pure Wrath, no downside. We got Hadron Archive, a pretty solid ramp artifact that it used to see play back in the day, not so much recently because most of the formats got kind of power crept, so it's a little bit underpowered for most things. But in standard, I think it could be solid. It also helps us get to our big stuff a little bit quicker, and you can always sack it for cards if you really need to. So there's that. Spellgyre, a little bit more counterspell. Of course, we also have 3 steps ahead counterspell. These can also be used to draw cards and copy artifacts or creatures. So that's all very good and solid. And then I guess I'll talk about this one first. But we've got this 1 room card, the Restricted Office, which is kind of a board wipe, and then the Lecture Hall, which gives all your permanents hexproof. And one of the reasons we're running this is for the hexproof side of things. So if we can get like our Hadron archive down, we can probably get the hexproof out a little bit early. And then we can also get out the Herald, the main card in the deck. Herald of the Eternal Dawn, for white, white, white. So we want a little bit of ramp to help us get it out a little bit quicker. It has flash, it has flying. It says you can't lose the game and the opponent can't win the game. And it's a 6/6 flyer, so it's a pretty good clock in the air. And if you have your hexproof first, which is the hope of the deck, then basically unless the opponent is playing board wipes, then you can't lose the game. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to try it out. We'll have to see if the meta gets really like board wipey, lots of control decks running around, then you might have to change up your plan a little bit, like I said, and go with the Jace win con. But if not, it could be pretty solid. And we wanted some other big dumb creatures that win you the game. So Ezreal is here, draws you cards. It has hexproof some of the time. It has lifelink some of the time. So a pretty solid win con. Comes out relatively early, turn 5. Maybe even turn 4 if you have like the Iron Crag or something. But yeah, it's a pretty solid flyer. People can waste the removal on that and not be able to kill your Herald. So that's what kind of you're hoping for. So that is the basic gist of the deck. We didn't really get some new land for the deck, but the land is pretty solid in blue-white. So we have Cavern of Souls to stop counterspells. We have the Restless Anchorage for some extra win con, way to make artifacts. Fountain Port, some draw, some tokens, etc. So just all around, the blue-white colors with their land is pretty solid here. And I think you got enough lifelink now that you can hold off the mono red Scourge. So I'm excited for this one. I think it looks pretty solid. And of course, we'll have to play around with things. Ezreal is maybe the cut. Maybe you don't go Ezreal. Maybe you go some Planeswalker here or another Maze Mind Tome or something. But we'll have to see. This is just the initial deck idea, and then we'll go from there. But all right, that's it for the top 5 brew. Number 5, we got 4 more coming up, and then the new set will be out. So stay tuned for that. I hope to see you in the next one, and have a blessed day.